Who's this? Is that your mom? That's your mom.
My mother.
Tell your mom that what we're talking about. Tell her you're with a Canadian journalist talking about semen. Hello everyone! Today I want to share with you a video I recorded in India 1 year ago. During that trip, I made numerous videos about the local sex culture, and this one is about a very odd sexual disorder. According to Ayurveda, India's 3,000-year-old natural system of medicine, semen or virya is the most vital fluid in the human body. In Ayurveda, it takes 40 meals to make a drop of blood, and 40 drops of blood to make a drop of bone marrow, and 40 drops of bone marrow to make a drop of semen. So in a country that takes semen so seriously, it's not a surprise that a whole syndrome has developed around losing it. Whether lost through urine, nocturnal emissions, or masturbation, patients report feeling tired, weak, and having a loss of appetite. It's called DAT, or semen loss anxiety syndrome. That has been reported all around India, but it's in the north where most cases have been documented. So I set off with my Indian brother Raul to Karnal, a village in Haryana state, to learn more about it.
In the villages, people are not very much educated. That's why they can get offended, and they can also beat us.
We don't want that.
Yeah, definitely we don't want that. Like you can't talk about sex or sexuality in public.
Should we get into trouble and they want to beat us up, I expect you to step in and protect me, correct?
Yeah, sure. I have those metal rods with me in the truck.
That's really going to help us, okay. We had to ask around and stop in a local clinic, but eventually we were directed to Butla Psychiatric Hospital. There we met Karnal's resident psychiatrist, Dr. Butla. Do patients only think that they're losing semen while they pee, or is it also at nighttime and other?
It is not a semen, it is actually phosphate salts which are excreted in the urine. Not semen.
Not semen. They think it's semen.
They think it's semen, and because of that they get panicky and later on develops anxiety features.
Do you give them any medication, or what do you do?
A little medication for relieving the anxiety and the psychotherapy.
Why are people here in India so concerned that they're losing semen?
Because of poor sexual education, or rather no sexual education. There's no sexual training, no sexual educations. Even the doctors are not trained in it.
It's quite common, this syndrome amongst young people, is it?
It is in young people very common.
It's very common. And it comes from these teachings from many years ago about the semen thing.
Created by sadhus, saints and old hakims.
Do many people also go to hakims or vaids to treat? Do they treat it the same way, or do they treat it differently?
Hakims, and they create the problems. They create the misconceptions.
Despite his objections to their methods, Dr. Butla directed us to a local traditional doctor, known as a hakim or vaidya, to understand the issue from their side. Hello, doctor. How are you?
In India, we value the ojas. Ojas means immunity.
Immunity.
Immunity means your glow, your confidence. All comes with when you have good quality and quantity of semen.
Okay.
At the age of 15 till 20, the body is growing. That time, everybody is having hormonal changes.
Yes.
The heat is more in the body, enthusiasm is more in the body, and when he eat something hot, that immediately he feels burning on cheeks, burning on stomach, in the stomach, or in the toilet, he feels burning like that. Means very hot nature is there.
Dr. Virmani recommends dietary changes and exercise to help cool down this hot nature, but he recognized that some people use other methods.
They start doing masturbation. That is totally wrong in Ayurveda. in my perception, it is totally wrong, because you are not saving the thing which you have to save for the future. In a month, you are doing once, twice, like that. No problem, no harm.
You can do a few masturbations.
Few masturbation.
Few masturbations are okay.
Oh, if you are doing daily 3-4 times, what you are doing?
Well, that's a lot. You don't have time to do very much else. And if you're expelling a lot of semen, then what are the consequences of that?
Very simple. It is going to have some tuberculosis-like disease, maybe cancer disease, maybe a weak sexual intercourse, or can't satisfy the partner, like that. And the person is very afraid. He is not able to do any work.
I read that this also occurs with women, even though women don't have semen. I read in one of the studies that there's women that reported that they have dat. Have you come across that?
I have come over there, but I don't want to discuss about that. In India, we don't feel that this topic to be discussed openly.
Okay.
In case of male, we can discuss, but in case of female, we don't want to discuss.
Female, you can't discuss it.
No.
Before leaving town, I wanted to ask some locals for their thoughts on the issue. You have an opinion? We're trying to figure out why it's so prevalent here. But as we were in a deeply conservative area, I'd have to approach my topic with discretion. We're doing some research about virya, about semen. Dat syndrome? No? Do you know anybody that has had experience with that?
Semen, what is semen?
Semen is a sperm. Is like when you have an
Yes.
orgasm,
Okay.
what comes out, that's semen.
That's semen, okay.
Yes.
Actually, semen is the most important, fluid in the body, and your health, your mental health, it's all depend on this.
In their mind they feel weakness, they think that virya or semen is very important for body.
Do you think that it's okay to masturbate?
It's never okay. It puts a very bad effect on your health.
Okay.
That's not good at all.
Okay.
I think it might give some relax when you're willing to have sex, and you pushing it not to do. It's bad. That's not. I don't.
Holding
think
in
it's
is
good.
bad.
No. It's
Better
not
to
good.
release.
Yeah, better to release.
Let go.
Yeah.
More relaxed.
What do you think?
I agree. I
You
agree.
agreed with
Me,
me?
if I don't let go, I get
Yeah.
very stressed.
Yes.
And I don't know how people do it.
You can be stressed.
I can be stressed. How many handshakes?
One week
1 week?
may 2-3 days.
2-3 days, 1 week is okay.
Okay.
You don't feel, after a handshake, you don't feel like you lose your power, you still have energy.
Yes.
Feel good.
Energy.
You feel good.
Yes, energy.
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 But if you do 2 handshake every
Happy,
day,
energy and happy.
energy and happy.
Happy. Yes.
Very happy. Relax.
Relax, baby.
Relax. Really.
Relax, baby.
You think it was a more serious issue years ago, like your parents' generation, and now younger people are not so concerned about letting go a little virya?
Yeah, in our generation it's I think a common thing.
We are following West right now, and Western culture right now, and this culture was not our culture. We had different culture. The sex was taboo in India. It
Yeah.
was prohibited
Yeah.
before marriage.
Right.
Now people are doing this, but you can say their faces. You can see, look at the faces of these guys, 25 years old. Is there any glow? Do you find any glow on their faces?
After the interview, we said our goodbyes to the locals and drove back to New Delhi. There had been no violence or angry reaction to our inquiries. Instead, all we found were men of varying glows doing their best to negotiate self-pleasure in a traditional culture.